New dogs, kicking cars, blind dates, and terrible cooking. It's all here on this review of Spy Family episodes number 15 and 16, I believe.
I think so.
All right, let's talk about it. All right, so first of all, we have a different setup, so appreciate this. This is going to be the new setup for a while now. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It doesn't matter. It's all the same content you're getting, so it shouldn't matter to you.
You're
but
for this.
Here we are. So yes, we missed last week's review because we moved into a new spot here, obviously. And so we are going to just do a double review for you guys of the past 2 episodes.
Not much went down anyways, so it's easy to fill y'all in on the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, so these 2 episodes are very focused on the family side of it, not the Spy Family side of it.
The family side.
Yeah, the first few episodes we got a little spoiled. We got a little bit of the actual espionage aspect. These 2 episodes are more about the family and building it more out and becoming a closer, bigger family.
I was kind of hoping to continue the trend, stick with the spy thing. No, right back to the family. I was like, here we go again, everybody. Here we go again. But it's fine. It wasn't too bad. At least the second episode wasn't too bad, because at least it started with a bit of espionage going on before we moved on into the family stuff.
Yeah, so 15, it takes place, so pretty much we wrap up what was happening in the city about them chasing after that guy. Lloyd does not kill the dog.
He did not shoot the dog.
Yeah. He, I guess, disarmed it somehow and threw the bomb into the water. It exploded, and he threw the dog in the dumpster.
That's Keith's fault, by the way, for being slow on the timing. He's supposed to, as soon as the dog bit, but you gave Lloyd time to cut off the vest, throw it into the river, and then throw the dog in the dumpster.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I thought it for sure was going to cut back to, the dog, on top of him, and he was like, oh, but no, he was like, get in there.
Just get the fuck off me.
Yeah, and so it was cool. We got a little shot of, Lloyd walking down the alley, and he looks at him. He's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And Lloyd's eyes are like,
and then I thought it was some new big bad coming in. No, it's just Lloyd.
Yeah, he's
looking like being badass,
being Twilight for once,
which I was fine with.
Yeah. So then that guy drives away because he's hella scared, and then we get Anya. Sorry, we get Yor jumps down. She sees him from on top of a bridge, and she's like,
"I cannot let Anya be taken by terrorists again.
You won't get away from me this time." Falls down and in typical Yor fashion just gives us fucking powerful Joe Rogan-esque
kicks the shit out of that car and makes him veer off the road.
This man was going at least 40 and does not slow down.
First off, there was people around. Nobody saw that?
Yeah.
She kicked a car and knocked it off the side of the road. She's a woman.
Yeah, she literally just kicked the front of it and it and hit a pole and the guy was just unconscious.
I can't wait till they find out, they do Yor's backstory to see what training she's been through, because what the fuck?
Yeah, it has to be something strong, because she was kicked it with ease.
She's so for lack of a better word, dumb.
Yeah.
But where does her strength? I don't know.
All her smarts are going into battle.
She's so smart.
Battle IQ.
She's muscle smart. She's just so strong that she's just not smart. I don't know.
No street smarts. She has no book smarts.
No common sense.
She doesn't know why she's here or what she must do. All she knows, she must kill. That's her entire mindset.
All it knows, I must kill. The women, the children, I slaughter them all.
Everyone. So yeah, she dispatches the guy very quickly. She calls it in. She's like, "Hey,
calls the police again. Hey guys,
knocks this guy out."
I called earlier. Yeah, I got the last one. Don't worry, I'm doing your job for you.
Yeah. So they wrap that up, and then the handler comes, and she's talking with Lloyd. They're kind of unwrapping from their mission. They're like, "Hey, mission complete. Did a good job. We got all these dogs though, so we got to figure out what the hell's going on with these puppies." And then it cuts to the outside where Lloyd is like, "Okay, well I'm gonna go home now.
I'm out later.
Yeah.
I'm done. I gotta go back to my family."
And all 3 characters meet up from different ends and then the alley. Anya and the dog come through the alley, and then York comes from the side, and Lloyd comes to one side. It was a cool little meet-up scene. And we get a little recap, I guess, of what happened. And Lloyd's like, "Okay, well, I'm glad you guys are safe." And
I'm so sorry I was in the bathroom for so long. I hate you. I hate you.
And so then we get to see Bond finally. She's like, "Hey, I got this dog. I want to keep him." But then the handler and the other people who work for Lloyd's company are like, "Well, you can't keep this dog because it's part of the spy mission."
He's got some crazy stuff going on in his brain. He's part of. We have to take it back. He's part of the adoption event.
Yeah, and so she's like, "Well," I think Anya reads her mind or something, or reads Bond's mind. It's like, "Oh, I need to make this vision happen of us coming home."
Continuing with the visions.
Yeah, so she's like, "I want this dog. If you don't give me this dog, I won't go to school and you won't get any stars."
Oh, that's right. And then they're like, "Oh, fuck the mission."
Okay, I guess you can keep Bond. So, she tells them that they just keep the dog, but they have to take it overnight just to make sure the dog has, nothing lingering on him, any spy shit or whatever.
I was trying not to read too much into it, but it seemed like Handler might have had a kid before, because she was very nice to Anya, and you could kind of, see her face. I was waiting for a flashback that didn't happen.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, I was there's a nice side of Handler there.
She talks to Anya for the first time. I guess the first time she meets her.
I think it's the first time, they all meet. That was weird. I was like, what's about to go down. I was
Yeah.
like, are you finally gonna figure something out? No.
Nope, she just meets her, and then I guess she just rubs her the right way, and she tells Lloyd, like, kind of like off to the side, like, hey, you know, she's a good girl.
Take care of that kid.
Reminds me of mine. I had one once too.
That's why I'm like, what happened?
So either she had a daughter, or she was like did the same thing that Lloyd did, and she was like a mission where she like was a pretend family, and she ended up having a child.
Oh, imagine she did the same thing.
Yeah, so
Oh.
very interesting. So seeing more backstory for Handler, that's cool. That we're getting like more stuff.
Yeah, she did just appear out of nowhere. And people want to know, like, who is she?
What is she?
She's kind of hot.
She is very in her little sunglass disguise.
Kind of got this Carmen Sandiego vibe going on.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah,
She's mysterious.
Yeah, I want to know where she's at. I'll find her wherever she goes. So yeah, she does that, and then they take Bond home, and that's pretty much how that wraps up. But they're just like, oh, the dog's home now, cool. And then
you see you see the complete vision finally, because it's like everybody when they're at home smiling at each other. The vision's come complete. We've done it. On to the next one.
So yeah, then we got this week's episode, which it continues on about her being with the dog and trying to like find a name for the dog.
Showing him the ropes around the house. Oh yeah, because they don't have because she goes to school and Becky's like, oh yeah, what's his name? She's like, dog.
Dog.
And then she's like, I didn't know you had to have a name. Oh yeah, then she runs out. Of course, you know, she's like, the mission. I gotta be friends with Damien. He runs out to Damien. She's like, I got a dog, bitch. He's like, okay. And then he's like, and they're like, oh. Look, you just treated her like shit. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, his two little ugly fucking goons. Oh, yeah. I don't remember their names now, but I'm gonna remember next
Goyle.
time. Oh, Crab and Goyle.
Crab and Goyle.
And he's like, I think he's the one who asked. He's like, what's his name? She's like, and she doesn't know what to say because she's like, he didn't have a name. She's like, what kind of dog doesn't have a fucking name? He gets pissed and he just walks away. And then he's like, you know, embarrassed, little tsundere boy. I'm like, just stop. They're kids. Yeah. This is not what we need.
And before that, I guess her and Becky were talking, and she was like, well, you have to name it, right? Well, what are you going to name it? And they're kind of trying to work through names, and Anya said Peanuts.
Oh, yeah, because he's like, yeah, she's like, well, what about your food? I like peanuts.
And then Old Man, because he has white hair. And then Becky's like, maybe you should let your parents handle the naming, because you're not very good at it. So Anya's like, okay, well, I got to find a name for this dog, but apparently I'm not very good at naming things. So she asks her parents, and Lloyd just makes it more complicated. He's like, well, dogs can't really hear most sounds. They can only hear consonant words.
I know. I'm like, Lloyd, you know how dumb she is.
Consonant words, right? That was consonant sounds.
Yeah, consonant sounds.
And then fucking yours dumbass is like, causes of death? I don't know how she heard that.
I don't know what she did.
Instead of consonant sounds, she heard causes of death. So it kind of does like a flashback of her.
She loves herself some death.
Torturing Bond and giving him a different cause of death. So then this confuses Anya more. She's like, okay, well, what the hell am I going to name him at? They have a bunch of vowels. As Lloyd said, it has to have like an A or an O or a U so the dog can understand her. So yeah, she's still stuck in a rock and a hard place. So then I think Lloyd's just like, hey, let's go for a walk with this dog because this dog's been up here for a while, just cooped up.
Just need to, get out, explore, do what dog things do. Take him to the park. So they take him to the dog park.
And then Anya loses her shit because it's a dog park. She's never seen this many dogs in a park.
God, all these dogs everywhere. The best. She's like, I can ask these people what they name their dogs. So she goes around for, what's your dog's name? Hey, what's your dog's name? Hey, what's your dog's name? First off, that's annoying as shit. I'd be like, get this kid away from me. I'm trying to just play with my fucking dog.
So then, yeah, she asks all the people that are dogs. So then she ends up coming up with like two more terrible names that are way too long.
I don't even remember what they are either.
Like Prince Honey Charles III or something like that. It was weird. They were not good names. And so then they're leaving the dog park. She still doesn't have a name for it. But then she's like, oh, my gloves. Where are my little gloves at?
Oh, yeah. She's like, where are my gloves at? And then
they'll go looking for them. And Bond.
I was like, Bond
there you go.
does his thing, and they find the oh god, just the ugliest fucking dog
ever. Like a bulldog?
It was like, I don't even know what it was. It looked like a bulldog, like a pug boxer mix. I don't know. It was awesome. Ugly. It's fucking ugly. But anyways, you can see it hanging out of his fucking mouth, these little gloves. And she's
Bond
like,
with the W press. He's like, give me those gloves back. Gloves. He's like, those are mine. I found them.
Yeah, these are my. Oh yeah, because Anya goes up. She's like, I need my gloves back. And he's like, no, these are mine. My precious. I don't know. I gotta figure that one out.
That was a little weird.
That was weird. But he's like, these are mine. These are my precious. And then here comes Bond out of nowhere. Like, what'd you say, bitch?
He's like, okay.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then they, the old lady
drops the gloves, and Bond goes and pushes him. He just falls like a tiny push. The dog's like, falls over like.
And the old lady who owns the ugly dog is like, how dare you hurt my little precious baby?
And then so then she's like, oh, you helped me. You're a good man who helps me, dog. And then I think at that point she realizes like, oh, you helped me. You're wearing like little booties. You're
yeah, because she has the the flashback to the scene from Bond Man, her favorite episode, where she's like, Princess Honey, I returned your gloves to you. And she's like, oh my god, it clicked.
And she's
Bond.
Like, gonna name him Bondo. And so that's where we finally get the name Bond, is after her favorite superhero, Bond Man. Bond, and they have a curious, like a very bond between them two. It works both ways. It's a double entendre.
There you go. That's the word. I was like, oh, no, it's that word I'm thinking of.
What's the word? So we have the name for the dog now, finally. And then they've been doing a lot in these past couple episodes where they kind of like cut every episode into like little segments.
Yeah, they're doing like mini episodes, which I'm not too like. It's not the best, but I don't mind it either.
Yeah,
like especially because
filler.
This one, it's what it is. Really, it's filler. But this one was fine because they brought in our boy, Frankie.
Yeah, so Frankie, this one finally got our first appearance of my man Frankie, the best character from Spy Family.
I didn't think they were gonna bring him back. I was like, is he not coming? Like, where is the man? Where is the scruff?
He's in the alley. He's smoking a cigar. Big old stogie.
He's just hanging out,
hitting it, and then
he's like, because he contacts Lloyd, and Lloyd's like, what the fuck do you want?
Well, he turns up in the corner. He's in the alley. He's like, we got a mission for me? Frankie's like, I fell in love with the girl.
He's like,
all right,
cool, man. See you later.
You called me. Frankie's like, no, you have to help me. You are the better with women, so I need your help. So he enlists the help of Lloyd to try to woo this girl that he's fallen in love with. And he met her at a cigar shop. And the funny thing is, he doesn't even like cigars.
He's like I don't even smoke cigars like that. He's like, but I do every single time.
I have to go buy them.
I have to buy them to see her.
It's just so funny that like it begins with him smoking the cigar. So it's like he's just doing it.
I just thought he was doing it to be cool. He's like, nope, he's doing it because
he's in love.
He's in love. He's a simp.
Yeah, he's a big simp. Frankie's a simp, man. So he pretty much they go and like he gives him pointers, and Lloyd's giving him too detailed
he's like
pointers.
Oh yeah, because Frankie's like these are all. He's like starts stating facts about her, and Lloyd's just like,
you're a stalker.
You're a stalker.
She's this old. She went to this school. She lives with these people.
This is her blood type. These are her parents.
You're like, what? You're okay.
She's like, you're a stalker.
You know all this stuff about her. Why do you need my help? And he's like, well, I just need a professional.
He's like, I don't know how to conversate. He's like, I don't know how to talk to women like that. So Lloyd busts out the flow chart. And this was not easy. So he's like, look, he's like, these are your first. He's like, ask this question. These are your responses to her 4 answers she could possibly have. These are the responses to those answers, and it just
goes like millions of
infinite.
Frankie's like, what are you doing? I don't need this much help.
He's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I need you to just tell me what to say exactly.
So Lloyd does what he does best.
He's like, you want to talk to me? Like, I'm a girl, and Frankie freaks out, and he's like, oh, I'll put a disguise on. I think Frankie's like, no, it's okay.
He's like, no, it's fine.
It says on the bottom. Puts it on anyway.
Puts it on anyways.
He puts on the
That's
disguise.
what Lloyd likes to do. He likes to dress up. That's fine.
That's what he likes.
That's what it is.
So he dresses up as the girl that Frankie's into, and they're just in a cafe in front of everybody else. Frankie's talking to a woman.
I'm like, yeah, nobody saw him change. No one saw him go to the bathroom, come out as a woman.
Yeah, he's definitely.
What is wrong with these people?
No one's paying attention. So yeah, he talks to him. They have a good conversation, I guess, based off of it, because time passes.
The whole fucking day.
Mm-hmm. So Frankie's like, all right, I got this. I'm gonna go see you tomorrow, and I'm gonna give you details later. And Lloyd's like, I don't want details.
Yeah, he's like, just do it, but good luck.
So it cuts to Frankie. He walks into the cigar shop the next day. He sees the girl. She's like, oh, hi, Frankie. You're back again?
She looks very interesting. She's got the blush on the cheeks, and then, you kind of think about it. Yeah, it just cuts. And then he's just walking.
Like, what happened? Okay.
And you're like, okay. But
I think this was before. Oh, was this before the dog park? I think they were walking to the dog park. Oh, no, they're going to obstacle course, the family.
Yeah, because it's I don't remember if it was before or after the cooking one, but...
So then they're walking down the street, basically, and...
go to the obstacle course. Another ooting.
Yeah, another ooting with the family, and they run into Frankie, and Anya sees him, and he's like, oh, hi, where are you guys going? That sounds fun. You're going to obstacle course? And she kind of reads his mind, I guess, and realizes that he's sad.
Oh, yeah, she's like...
Hey.
He's like, what?
What are you touching?
What is wrong with you?
This child. And then it cuts to, again, Frankie's just in a bar getting drunk, and he's like, I'm broke, because I gave Lloyd a favor for free now.
He's like, I can't believe I did that shit for free. He's like, give me the cheapest beer you have.
I'm getting fucked up because I got rejected pretty much. Tonight. So we find out that he got rejected off of him just being drunk. And I guess he said because he's ugly or something.
Yeah, I think it's
because
he's ugly. That's what they said, yeah.
Ugly to that girl.
He's like, what? Yeah.
To us.
He's a dime. Forever.
So then, yeah, it's the bartender's like, here you go. Here's an expensive whiskey or whatever. And he's like,
an orb fucking ice.
Can't afford this shit. He's like, no, it's not for me.
It's from the gentleman down the bar brought you that. Who else is it? But Lloyd.
Lloyd himself.
True blue homie. Best.
Was he a homie, or did Anya kind of like tell him like he's sad?
Yeah,
don't help him.
Yeah, it's could be one or the other. They didn't really show it, but it's like, was Lloyd being a good friend, or was Anya like, I think Mr. Scruffy made it sad?
Yeah. So anyway, he's there though, and so they talk it out, I guess, and that it cuts that scene. So Frankie has not found love yet, unfortunately.
It was nice little, just like a little filler episode.
Contained episode. within the episode.
I just don't remember if it was before or after the next episode.
Yeah, so I guess the final one we'll talk about, I guess it's the biggest one. I think it was the final episode.
I think so too. I think it does.
So we're good. Yeah. So it ends with this last segment of the episode where
Yor's cooking.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it's just Yor comes home. She's all cut up. Lloyd's like, "What the hell happened? What's
going on?"
She doesn't want to talk. She goes straight to her room. So yeah, we get lured into a sense of like, oh, well, this could be something serious.
Something's going down.
But then we find out that really it's just her. She's was at work talking with the girls, and she's like, "Hey, I'm sad because I can't cook for my husband. I think
he was in the bathroom all day the other day.
Oh yeah, because
of my breakfast.
Made him sick.
I made him sick, and he's gonna divorce me. I need to learn how to cook.
Yeah. So then she asks all the girls, and the girls are pretty much useless too. They're like, "Oh, we don't cook."
She's like, "My housemaid cooks," and she's like, "Oh, I know how to open cans."
And then
we're like, "Thanks,
one
Cindy."
snitch.
Yeah.
The main.
And the Sim husband comes in, the legend. He's like, "Oh yeah, she's a great cook. What are you talking about?" She's like,
"How dare you? I don't want to help this girl anymore." So yeah, pretty much she's gonna help her cook reluctantly, and she shows up to her house, and she's like, "All right, I guess we're really doing this then." She's like, "Yeah, I want to make food, and I want to make beef minestrone tonight." So she's like, "All right, I'll teach you, I guess."
You can't start with like a grilled cheese,
yeah,
chicken noodle soup, something a little easier. No, you go straight for minestrone.
Why beef minestrone of all things? No one eats that. And so yeah, she's like, "Well, I guess we're here now." Well, and then the main girl's like, "Hey, well, if we're doing this, husband, this is your fault.
You're tasting this shit."
And he's like, No. I have something special for this occasion." And then ding dong,
fucking Yuri,
Yor's brother shows up, and he's like there to taste test. He's like, "Oh, I get to see you cook finally."
I didn't think it was gonna be him, but I was like, who else? Who else?
Yeah. Because I forget they work together, right?
Yeah, because the husband and Yuri work together as secret police. And
nice. Okay, so yeah, Yuri shows up and he's like, "Oh, I'm here to try your cooking, sister. I'm gonna support you, whatever."
Like, "I'm so happy to be trying your cooking today."
It's real nice of him to be there.
He is. He's a very supportive brother. I'll give him that, even though he's a piece of shit.
Oh, and then he's like, she's like, "Oh, I want to learn how to cook for Lloyd." And he's like, "Oh, this is why we're doing this."
He's like, "Maybe I should get him executed." And he's just Yuri.
He hates that man.
He does.
He hates him so much.
He still calls him Lloydie though. So I'm like, I feel like he does kind of like him. He's like, "You know what?" He's like, "You're my sister's husband. I kind of like you for that."
Unless it's like a thing of like, "Ooh, Lloydie."
Like a degradation thing, like, "Ooh, Lloydie."
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna call you that. I'm not gonna call you Lloyd Sign or anything. Like you should be called. He's like, "You're Lloydie."
Lloydie from now on. So yeah, pretty much just Yor's trying to learn how to cook, but everything she's doing, she's fucking it up. She's cut her fingers. There's blood all over the place.
She cuts through the cutting board.
Oh, yeah, she cuts too hard.
She's like, bah, bah, bah. She's like, "Oh, I'm good with the knife." She can't use the peeler though. She can't.
Yeah, peeler's the one thing she could.
When they showed the potatoes, the blood, I was like,
yeah, that's so much cross contamination. Disgusting. And then she has meat that she's cutting too thin because she's doing like surgical cuts that she's not supposed to do.
She knows it's what she's
used to.
I don't know, man. She should be a butcher.
Yeah, that's way better at that. So yeah, she's pretty much messing everything up. And at the end of it, she makes a soup, and it's a concoction full of
purple
like,
and
fish
ominous music playing, and there's smoke coming out of it. It's not looks good. And they're like, "Here you go, Yuri," and he's stoked. He's ready to go. He's like, "Let me fuck this shit up right now.
It's been so long since you cooked for me.
I can't wait." Starts. He's going in.
And he's throwing up.
I didn't think it was throw up at first. I thought he was just like, it's Yuri, so I thought he was like just so excited. But I was like, then you could hear the fucking.
And she's like, "Why are you eating that? You're still throwing up."
Yeah, why you're throwing up at the same time? He's like, "But it's so good." So he keeps eating it.
Yeah, so he's so supportive that even though the food sucks, he's still eating it. Despite throwing up and his body rejecting it, he's still going through with it. And he finishes it.
That's a good brother right there.
And asks for seconds.
Yeah, he's like, "Let me get more." I'm like,
disgusting. But the normal people, the husband and wife, they eat it and they fall out.
Try it. Yeah, they die.
They fight
straight
it.
up, just dead on the floor.
What happened? And so yeah, she's like, "Okay, well let's
try meatballs.
Something different. Tries meatballs."
I was like, "Okay, that's a little easier."
Messes it up.
Bones sticking out of it. More fish heads.
Disgusting.
Why is there fish everywhere?
I think Yuri almost dies at that point. And he's like, "I'm gonna keep eating this, even though my body really feels like I'm about to die."
Yeah, he's like turning blue in the face. Yeah,
he's like, "You need to stop." The husband's like,
okay,
stop eating that. So then finally, the lady, the wife, is like, "Okay, well, what's your favorite dish growing up, you guys?" And they flash.
Finally clicks in her head.
Yeah.
Turns out she's actually not a bitch. She's just a bitch.
She's prickly, as the husband said.
She's the prickly queen.
Yeah, she's the thorn princess, and there's a prickly queen. There it is. And so yeah, pretty much she asked her to recall the recipe from like memory, like, "Oh, what was in it? Let's try to guess."
That's how it's supposed to be. It's about the taste, people.
So that's her true talent, that she's a chef inside, but she's working at that place for some reason. So maybe she'll become a chef. But she was able to break down that recipe just based off of whatever Yor was saying. And it turns out pretty well, and they taste it.
And they're like, "Wow, this is actually okay."
Something's missing, though. And based off of where she's from...
She's like, "Where are you from?"
The wife knew.
They use sour cream. I'm like, damn, that's what I'm talking about.
She knew exactly what to do. Do sour cream into the stew, and then that
you know what, lady?
like...
Maybe you're not a bitch.
Yeah. I can't wait to see everybody make this. By the way, I know a bunch of YouTubers are probably gonna like
they're already
recreate
working
this
on
recipe.
trying to figure out how to make this
The fried egg on
southern
top.
stew with the fried egg on top.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. And they was beautiful, like cuts the egg and then gets the perfect bite and then
Every time.
eats it. And I'm like, oh, it looks really good. So yeah, Yor learned how to make her first dish. Accomplishment for her.
Now the true test. She's like, I gotta go home, make this for my family. She gets home, she's like, boom, I'm cooking dinner tonight. And
They're all
the order,
hyped.
I'm like,
yes! So excited. So she makes it, and even the Bond is like, ooh, it smells good. He goes in the kitchen, his like nose lifting up and everything.
That's how you know. When Bond, he knows.
It's gonna be delicious.
Man, true talent.
So then they finally sit down and eat it, and it turns out they love it. And Yor gets all excited.
Emotional.
She's like, wow, finally someone is enjoying my food. I did a good job.
She's like, I'm finally a good mom and a wife. She
She
made
feels-
food for my family. She's like, you know what, guys? Special occasion. I also made dessert.
And look at this, and it looks like
And
ice cream.
I was like, oh.
like ice cream
I was
pudding.
like, I didn't see this one. Okay, let's get it, yours.
She's like, it's my own creation.
And that's when I knew something.
Cuts, falls out.
They're
Just like
dead.
the husband
On the floor.
They're dead on the floor. And that's how the episode ends. So altogether, these last 2 episodes have been more family centric, but I feel like they're a little more interesting.
Definitely,
than most.
definitely. It's like we know about these people now, so I think it's a little better.
Mm-hmm.
That we're not learning about like who they are. Now we're actually getting like a little bit more into the family stuff. But if this is another 13 episode, 12, 13 episode season, it's like we need to get into the meat and potatoes, people.
If it ever does, who knows if it will. But yeah, I do enjoy the segmented episodes. It kind of reminds me of like Kaguya-sama, how it's kind of like segmented episodes in one episode. So if we do more of those to make the fillers go a little faster, I'm okay with
Yeah,
it.
it's like spy stuff. Let's get full episodes, but family stuff, I'm okay cutting it up in little bits. Change it up a little bit. A little bit of Yor, a little bit of Lloyd. Get some Frankie in there.
Yeah. Handler, maybe?
Oh yeah, get some Handler in there too.
We're quickly building out this universe and making
Yeah.
them all interesting.
I don't know. It's like who else we got in there?
The wife, she's cool now.
Damien.
Damien, yeah. So, and I'm sure there's more characters coming soon that we know of. But yeah, so far, these 2 episodes, they've been really good for being filler episodes. I enjoyed them. So I think it's cool to just like put these type of episodes off and just binge them all at once instead of just like, if you're waiting for something to happen and then you go to this episode, you're kind of like, oh, that was kind of a
That's kind of what I was telling him because he hadn't watched the episode yet, and I was like, honestly, it's a bunch of family stuff, and they're actually easy to watch, especially because when it's broken up like that, it's way easier to watch those episodes and then just sometimes just watch full episodes back to back. You're just like, oh, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, overall, these last episodes, I'm gonna give them a solid 8 out of 10 combined score.
I was thinking about the same.
Very
It's
solid.
You'll get the 9s and the 10s once we start getting the spy stuff again. But for now, it's like we're sticking to 8 range. Still not bad. We still are in. We're invested. We love it.
Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, that's going to be our review for the Spy Family episodes 15 and 16. If you'd like to go watch the rest of our reviews, they're also available on our channel. Maybe you don't want to watch the episodes and you just want to watch our reviews. Do that. We appreciate you either way. And as always, go ahead and subscribe down below. Follow us down below. All that fun stuff. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, get cooking.